Hi guys, it's Maaike here. Today I thought I'd show you how to make a color chart for your watercoloring medium. I use Talens and Distress inks. This is the Distress ink one, and I don't have all the re-ink, there's only 36, but they just fit on one piece of paper. This is how you're supposed to do it, with calculating grids and squares. But I'm not bothered with that system. And this is Talens, which is one of my favorite watercoloring medium. They're already diluted and mixed, and they're very vibrant, and I love them. This is the distress ink ones. I let it dry overnight because it's very, very important that it's dry to make the next layer. I'll show you the first process with the Ecolina, and I did those in rainbow order, whereas with the distress inks I use the color chart order that you can download from the Ranger website. And I'm sorry I had out of frame. This is really big paper and my camera is on a fixed pedestal, so I can't change that. Later on, when the paper fills up a bit more, then you will see more. I wrote down the numbers. They also have names like magenta and cadmium and cobalt and cyan, but you know, a number is shorter, so quicker. And this already takes quite a few hours. You need to spend a lot of time making these, and that's why I can't really bother to do a grid, because that takes more time. And if you're really OCD and you really want it perfectly straight, then by all means go ahead. That's how we learned it at school, in art school. But I hated that part, so when I can I skip it, and you only have to do it this once. And it's a very, very useful exercise because it will show you the um, in the order in which you lay your colors makes a difference, because you would think yellow and red makes orange, but orange might look different when the colors are in a different order. So if you lay down yellow first or red first, it sometimes makes a difference. And I would also advise you to use a bit bigger brush if your paper allows it, because it will retain more color and you don't have to dip it as much and you get a more even line, and that's better. But to make it fit, I had to use this smaller brush. I don't have the distress markers, but I'm not sure if it works the same, but you can try it, and then you can even use a ruler and make them really nice and straight. And yeah, I made a boo-boo here, but you know, I don't need the whole width of this paper, so I'll just leave it. I don't start again, I just will cut it off later. So be careful where you put your colors. I think this is sepia, and usually I wouldn't do the darker colors like gray and black and even white and gold, but because I had them, I wanted to include them in the video for you so you can see the difference. There's really no point in layering black over red, because you know what will happen. Also the white and the gold, they are from the same line, but they are a different formulation. They smell different, more like acrylic, and they're opaque instead of transparent like watercolor is supposed to be. So, but yeah, again, I'd include them just for you. So, I'm nice that way. I'm trying to fill in talking. I'm sorry if I blabber too much, but you know, I try to make these videos as complete and comprehensive as I can, and you know, they take a little bit more time than 5 or 6 minutes, and you can skip ahead if you know how to lay down a line. It's a nice exercise to do when it's raining and you can't go outside, and you can spend a few hours making this chart. And as I say, you only have to do it once, so it's worth it. This is the distress chart, and I let that dry overnight because I was really worried. I never done this before with distress reinkers, that they will bleed because they reactivate with moisture. But actually, I found they behaved very well. I didn't expect that, and it's very important to use the reinkers for this chart because that's the proper color, not the diluted, wishy-washy, pastely version that you get when you smoosh down the ink pad and then wet it down with water. This is how the colors are or were intended to look like, and for this exercise that is best. And I think you only need 2 or 3 drops of each colors. Some colors really take more ink than others to do the same stripe. I don't know exactly why that is. I think it has to do with the pigments, but I don't know. I also switched to a smaller brush because I wanted to make them fit on one sheet, and I almost made it except for the black soot and the hickory smoke. So I was quite happy with it. But a bigger brush works better because you don't have to go back and forth dipping it in, and you get a more even line if you have a bigger brush. But yeah, had to make do. At school, we were supposed to spend a few hours making the grid lines, and we had to. And I hate had tos or have tos. So nowadays, if I don't have to do something, um, I just skip that part. But it looks better. I have to agree with that. When it's in a grid, you get straighter lines and the effect is neater. But to fit the 36 colors, I really couldn't do a grid. I just had to wing it. Of course, if you have all the 60 reinkers, you will need an even bigger sheet of paper, and you might have to stick 2 or 3 or 4 actually together to make it fit. Or you can just use the colors that you use the most. I don't have the reinkers for a lot of the browns. I don't like them very much. I don't use them very much, so I don't have the reinkers for those. But if you think I only use a certain amount of colors, you can also make a grid with only say 10 or 15 colors, and that would make your life easier, would fit on the paper and take less time. But again, let it dry between the 2 layers very well. Don't heat set it, just let it dry, walk away and come back the next day. Okay, this is the last line. Let's run espresso, and I could just squeeze it in, and I had to leave out hickory smoke and black soot, but I'm fine with that. You can already see where it bled and where it run or where it wicked into the colors. And I have more close-ups photos later on in the video, so please keep watching. And you can see here that was a picked raspberry, and here is squeezed lemonade and wild honey, how they behave. As I say, I'm quite surprised they didn't run more, as this testing has a tendency to do that when they get reactivated, but I guess I let it dry long enough. I didn't do that with the Ecolina, I only left a few hours, and on the big chart it ran more than on the small gridded one that I made for you, so you can see how you're supposed to do it. If you want to do, stick to the rules. And I'll have a photo here afterwards with 2 circles, and you can see how the colors look differently. They're the same colors, squeezed lemonade and wilted violet, but one wicks out really much and the other didn't. This is the gridded chart as you're supposed to do it with the Ecolina, and as you can see, when I did the cross lines I didn't get much bleeding at all. And I also made a chart with the see here is where they were still quite wet, I think, and I had to wait longer, and I didn't. And this is Winsor and Newton. I only have a small tray of, I think, 15 colors, 16 colors. I thought I'd include them. This is the white and the gold, and the white made the colors run quite badly. Here's another look at Distress Inks close up. You can see Seedless Preserve, Wilted Violet, Shaded Lilac, and these are all the pink ones. Quite a lot of run. But other colors, they behave much better. This is the greens, and this is the whole chart in one view. It looks very chaotic. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully you find it useful. So see you again. Bye bye.